Hi, it's Steffi from Steffi's Beads and Baubles, and I have a little bit of a different video for you today. When we were at the antique store a few weeks ago, I got this bundle of vintage photos for only $5. They were in a very nice cellophane bag. Yeah, they were in this nice bag, and I couldn't turn them down. So I just thought for those of you that love vintage pictures, I would show you these pictures, and I'll tell you what they say on the back. Here's the first one. It's of a very dapper looking gentleman with an old car. This one does not have any writing on the back, but it's a really cool picture. And then this one just says, looks like roller on the bottom, but it says May 18th, 1935. And it's a very faded picture. No writing on the back, but this was cut out of a photo album. And then here's a really cool one. This says roll. Oh, okay, that's got to be the same guy. Roller. It says roller. It says Rolla, Bud, and Bud Hicks. And I've noticed that there's a bunch of that name, Hicks. In fact, it was funny. I was telling my husband, "Yeah, all these photos are all Hicks," and he started laughing. I'm like, "What?" He said, "You just said they were a bunch of Hicks." I said, "No, I said the family is the Hicks." But anyway, it's funny because I got two X's down here. But they're really cool photos. See if you can get the detail of their face. I mean, these are old pictures that were taken out of a photo album. This one doesn't have any identifying information. Let me look at the actual photo. No, there's no identifying information. It was just in this nice sleeve. And then here's this one. Again, you can tell it was attached to a photo album, but a very dapper young man. And then here's a group shot. This one says nothing, just Sulphur Springs, Texas, the something Lindley studio. But it's a group photo. 4 women. Then here's a gentleman with a horse. And this one says Edwin Hurt. Really neat. That old-fashioned writing that you see sometimes. And look, this one's really cool. Now this was taped onto here. It says Tom Hicks. And then it was on this board. At the back says Tom Hicks. You can see it's been on this board, probably in a photo album for years. But look at that tiny little photo, and look at the fancy detail on this little frame. And this one says nothing, but it's an older photo. You can tell by the thickness and the quality. It's not a recent copy. It's on very hard cardboard, thick cardboard. It's yellowed with age. And even if it's a reproduction or a print, it's an older one. And this says Bud and Nora Hicks, Ruth and Ruby. And this was actually mailed. I can't read the postmark on it. It's got an old stamp. It was actually a postcard. Mr. J.T. Hicks. But I don't know if that ever got sent, because I don't know how that even got to where it was supposed to go. Unless it was so long ago that you didn't have to write as much. You can see his shadow behind him. It's kind of creepy. It looks like there's something standing behind him, but I think it's his shadow. But it's a very, very old, not a very clear photo. You can even see the rug. Very dark photo. Now this one says, well, it's ripped. It's got a little piece of tape over the name. Lucinda Marie Maddie Hicks. And it says something girls. Very old. You can tell it's an old photograph. Here's the whole photograph, and then that's a close-up of their little faces. Now here's one, and it says, I can't read this writing so little. I'll put it up here and see if you can read any of it. That's a great group shot. Look at their outfits. Looks like they're almost matching. But I think it's just the color, the black and white nature of the photo. It's probably, they're all similar styles though. I think, what would that be, the 30s maybe? I'm not really big on fashion, but that kind of reminds me of the 30s perhaps, the 20s. Some of these photos are dated from back then, so maybe that's the 20s. 4 generations, Betty, Tom, Pauline maybe, and Dennis. And there's no date. But this is somebody's photo album that I was able to get for $5. This says Francis on it, no date. But look at that sweet little baby face. It's a nice picture. And it's old, you can see the wear on it. And yeah, there's nothing written on the, it's a postcard. I guess that was a big thing back in the day, to get postcards made up. Oh, look at this adorable kid. Here's the full shot. And look at that cute little face. And this says J, is that J, I'm not sure what that is, Gibson. 5 years old, to Uncle Tom and Aunt May. You see the tape that they had it taped in their box. 5 years old, 3 foot. I can't read the rest of it. Roller and Ika, Betty Hicks, John and Nora White, Wes and Cora Bickerdike. Yeah. That's very interesting. Now here's one. I cannot read the writing. Oh, it's a studio. Tom and May Hicks and Thelma, about 1906. So you know these photos are pretty old. Here's the whole photo. And then here's their faces. Don't know if it's the same baby that was in that baby picture. Let's see if we can find it. Can't see where that baby picture is. I think we had one of a baby, didn't we? Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I don't think it was the same baby. But you don't know. Looks like a different child. That is adorable. Oh. And then there's this one. And they have the baby. Looks like she's awake, or he. It says Thelma Hicks, 1905. Look at that. And this is old. This is cardstock. You can see how, or chipboard or something. It's very old. And then this one says Ima Johns, cousin of Tom, from Furman, Roller, etc. Hicks, about 1899. She's wearing glasses, which is unusual in a picture of those days. And this is what they wrote on the bottom. So anyway, I thought it'd be fun to share those with you. Not sure what I'm doing with them. I want to keep them together because these are pretty special. I'm not sure what I'll do. I probably just will tuck them away and hang on to them. But they're just so neat. I couldn't imagine taking them apart or using them in crafts. This is somebody's history. And it's a shame that nobody, wanted to keep it from the family. I don't have any pictures like this from my family history. So to have these is so special. You wonder what happened that they ended up at an antique store. But I know when my next door neighbor passed away, she didn't have any children and left her estate to a family friend, and every single family picture of her and her husband was at the yard sale. And we picked up a few pictures of her. But it made me sad. I mean, that they couldn't even hold on to her pictures. If somebody left me an estate that was probably worth $1 million, because I think that's what she was worth, maybe more, I would have at least had the respect to hold on to her family pictures. I don't understand that myself, but whatever. But they probably all went in the trash, and that's very sad, because there was just so many of them. So, somebody's family history right here. I'm working on a craft for St. Patrick's Day. Almost didn't do it because the bracelet got pretty much no views. I think I got 48 views. Just nobody was interested. So I don't know if St. Patrick's Day is all that interesting to most folks, but I've already got it so far done. I'll probably go ahead and finish it. It's something different, not jewelry or not traditional like beads and stuff. So I'll still go ahead and do that. But I just wanted to show you these pictures. I don't know if anybody will be interested in them, but they're so cool. I just had to show them. And I don't know who the Hicks family were. I don't even know if this was from this area. But look at how nice these pictures are. I wish there was more information. I really do. They're just amazing. And these postcards I find so fascinating. I guess that was a big thing back in the early part of the 1900s. These are either from the late 1800s or early 1900s. So, yeah, pretty cool. I love the baby. Francis. I guess the name was on there. This doesn't have the baby's name. That's Thelma. Yeah, that's Thelma, and this is Francis. So I don't know who this baby is. It doesn't have her name. Oh, Thelma. Okay, so that's the same baby as here, but by herself, sitting on a chair. I hope it's not one of those pictures I think her eyes are open, because you see those pictures they take when people passed away, but I think her eyes are open in that picture. Otherwise, that would be really, really sad. So, yeah, so this looks like maybe a little more modern, maybe the 40s or 50s. I don't know. I cannot tell. That dress looks handmade. So it could have been back in the 30s. But what a shame that somebody didn't want to keep these treasures. But I got them now, and they won't be destroyed, and they'll be well preserved and taken care of. So, anyway, just wanted to share them with you. Thought somebody might find them interesting. So I'll be back hopefully tomorrow with my project, and I will see you then. Bye.